please stay, hang on, and we will be starting our pre-conference forum series in a few minutes. Thank you so much.
So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, having no more cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kick out, get the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea, and I got my ping pong. This is heavy, heavy, hit the bass, boom, I'm ready. Life's sweet as honey, get this beach treated like money. This is all alone, I need to know, I'm about to go, I'm down, you know I go. Hey, let's go. It's all in the stars tonight. So sweet, bring down fire, set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with the little funky soul. Light it up like dynamite. Whoa, bring a friend, join the crowd. We wanna come along. Word up, top of town, just move every up the wall. They're light, sky's the light, so we dance the break of dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the lesson, so you should keep your eyes on the ball. This is heavy, heavy, hear the bass, boom, I'm ready, boom, boom. Ladies, ladies, honey, this beat to chill like money. This all the love I need to get, I'm good to go, I'm down, you know I'm good. And let's go! It's
Once again, we are welcoming everyone to this pre-conference forum series. We will start at exactly 2:15 in Philippine time. So once again, we will start at 2:15 in Philippine time. That is exactly 5 minutes from now. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned and enjoy the music.
It's the thought of being young when your heart just like a drum, beating louder with nowhere to guard it. When it all seems like fun, sing along to Elton John, to that feeling we're just getting started. When the lights get
Hello once again, and let me just remind everyone that we will begin at exactly 2 minutes from now. Our pre-conference forum will be live in our ACMC Facebook page and also in YouTube. So once again, please stay tuned. We are going to start the pre-conference forum series in about 2 minutes. Thank you.
just dream of that moment when you look yourself right in the eye, and you say, I wanna dance, and you just got me going, nothing can stop my move. Yeah, let's make a blast, just like we're going, rolling like we're dancing for. We don't need to worry, play with all we know how to play. Don't need to talk, the talk, just walk, don't walk. 'Cause we don't need permission to dance. There's always something that's standing in the way, but if you don't let it fade, yeah, you know just how to put just with the right vibe, yeah. 'Cause there's no looking back, there ain't no one to prove we don't got this on lock, yeah. The wait is over, the time is not, so let's do it right. Yeah, we keep going and stay up until we see the sun. You just got me going, nothing that can stop our move. Yeah, let's make a pass and leave, just like we're going, rolling like we're dancing fools. We don't need to worry.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the fourth installment of the Asian Congress for Media and Communication pre-conference forum series in preparation for the 2021 ACMC International Virtual Conference, which will be held on November 25 to 27, 2021, and will be hosted by the Auckland University of Technology in New Zealand. Before we start, may I just remind everyone to please turn their views into speaker view in your Zoom. You can do that by clicking the view option at the menu of your Zoom. Kindly shift it to speaker view. Thank you so much. So I would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Dino Cantal. I am an assistant professor of media and communication from the Trinity University of Asia in Manila, the Philippines. And I am also a member of the ACMC Executive Council. And I will be your host for today, for today's event, as well as succeeding two episodes of our pre-conference forum series, which will be held every last Saturday of each month until October. Right. So, um, before we start, let me just lay down the rules for everyone here in Zoom. Okay, let me just share that to you. Okay, so here are our house rules. First, you need to switch your camera off and mute your microphone while the forum is ongoing so as not to interfere with the speakers. Secondly, kindly use your real name as your Zoom profile name to properly acknowledge you during the open forum. We are also observing proper decorum here at our Zoom meeting. And please utilize the chat box if you have questions or comments. So you need to indicate the institution where you are coming from, as well as the country where you are right now. when asking or commenting. And please take note that we are recording this pre-conference forum series. And by joining today, you are signifying your approval to the recording and to the live streaming of our proceedings in the social media accounts. So, our organization, the Asian Congress for Media and Communication, or ACMC, is celebrating its 15th founding anniversary this year. And amidst the pandemic, we are very proud that our tradition continues despite the physical limitations. So here is a short backgrounder of our organization. Please watch this video.
The Asian Congress for Media and Communication is an international professional organization in the fields of media, communication, language, and the allied arts education. Its primary purpose is to provide an avenue for academic discourse among institutions of media and communication. Membership is spread throughout Asia and the Pacific, even as its conferences have attracted participants as far as Europe, Latin America, and Africa. ACMC has been organizing a biennial international conference since 2008. And this year, the International Virtual Conference will be hosted by Auckland University of Technology in New Zealand. For more details, please visit www.asianmediacongress.org.
The ACMC was founded on the idea that we need to push our boundaries in terms of teaching and research. And in the past 15 years, we were successful in bringing out the best in us, the communication and journalism faculty, as seen on the numerous papers and researches presented and published in our international conferences and academic journals. Then this pandemic came. This pre-conference series recognizes that the pandemic has created a new paradigm that has made research more difficult, not only in the terms of gathering data, but more in the terms of the mental and the emotional stress brought about by the fact that the lines of work and home life had been blurred. So while the pandemic has deprived us of coming together face to face, we hope that these pre-conference meetings will mitigate that feeling of isolation and also revive our passion for research, even as it gives us the opportunity to share our own experiences and learnings from these challenging times. Now, as we move towards the new normal, we look at the silver lining in the current situation that while the pandemic has prevented us from seeing each other physically and from traveling to foreign countries for international conferences, we still can participate in academic endeavors such as this without leaving our homes and without breaking our budget. And speaking of moving forward, we will now move to the very meat of this forum. So the pre-conference talk this month is organized by the Asian Congress for Media and Communication in partnership with the Research Unit in Communication Innovation for Development of Quality of Life and Sustainability, That's in the Faculty of Communication Arts of Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, Thailand. Dr. Rachel E. Khan, the ACMC chairperson of the board, will introduce our featured speaker for this month, who will talk about media innovation, teaching, and research. Rachel, the cloud is yours.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Smith Bunchutima is an associate professor in the Faculty of Communication Arts at Chulalongkorn University, where he received an award of distinction in recognition of his teaching in the field of social sciences in 2010. His courses include presentation techniques, events management, and media production. Before joining the academia, he was an international television commercial producer for a well-known local production house, Hub Ho Hin Bangkok. He is now Vice President of the Asian Congress for Media and Communication and a communication consultant for the Office of Information Dissemination and Public Relations at Thailand's Department of Disease Control and National Innovation Agency in Thailand. Dr. Bunchutima received his master's in transnational communications and global media from Goldsmiths College at the University of London in 2005. He has also completed his PhD in health promotion sciences at the Chulalongkorn University. His research interests include transnational communication, new media, instructional communication, and health communication. It is my honor and privilege to welcome and introduce my friend Smith Bunchutima.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Thank you very much, Dino, for this opportunity. Please share the screen for me, Pasayut. Thank you very much. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this opportunity. When we talk about innovation, we usually only think about science and technology. According to a recent article in the Bangkok Post, tech companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon come to mind when people think about innovation. This is largely thanks to the fact that these companies have a reputation for creating new processes and technologies. Also, they create all kinds of new products and services we use in our daily lives. Similarly, when we talk about something like media innovation, people also tend to think about science and technology again because they are triggered by the word innovation. This is also true from my own experience. When we talk about media innovation in my lectures, the perceptions of my students were focused on science and technology. In reality, media innovation is so much more than that. It includes digital media, of course, but as well as the data and content. And there are still many gaps in this concept that must be filled. In this forum, I will strive to achieve the following objectives. Firstly, we will clarify the meaning of the term media innovation. We will also look at a few examples of this concept. Secondly, we will raise awareness about the issues encountered in this field when it comes to teaching and research. Thirdly, we will highlight some of the challenges and solutions regarding teaching media innovation, especially in a post-COVID world, our new normal, as they say. Next, we will talk about the challenges in the development of media innovation research and theories. And lastly, I would like to encourage you as our audience to share the challenges you face in the field of media innovation. Of course, I will end my part with a few key takeaways. So, what is media innovation? First, we should define what innovation is. Anything can be innovation if it is different from the way it was before. It is an innovation if it leads to a change in direction or is an improvement and is done deliberately. See, and innovation doesn't have to have anything to do with just for science and technology. The science and technology could be only part of it. According to O'Sullivan and Dooley, innovation is the process of making changes to products, processes, and services that result in the introduction of something new, add value for organization, and contributes to the knowledge store of the organization. And from this, we can see that innovation takes place on three levels, namely organization, content, and audience. Furthermore, according to Garcia Aviles and colleagues, innovation plays a vital role in every aspect of our lives and in transforming the media industry. So, what is media innovation? Well, the concept of media innovation concerns transformations in technology, communication, and technology and organization. Technology, communication, and organization. Sorry. The following is according to Garcia Aveles and colleagues. Media innovation is the capacity to react to changes in products, processes, and services through the use of creative skills that allows a problem or need to be identified and to solve it through a solution that results in the introduction of something new that adds value to customers and to the organization. Similar to innovation, media innovation does not only focus on products, but also on the processes that create these products and that are able to tangibly and intangibly incorporate innovations. Building on this, I have a few short videos that I would like to show you as examples of media innovation.
Want to learn something? Learn this.
In this first video, we saw ads relating to the promotion of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 to three different target markets. This ad was selected as the winner of the YouTube Works US Awards in 2020 in the media innovation category. What Samsung did to set them apart was to create customized ads to attract different target markets. Their main concern was digital media and leveraging big data technology to create personalized ads relating to the specific lifestyle of each viewer. It began with the idea, and the technology allowed it to happen. Very innovative indeed. But here is another short video I also would like you to show you.
Shorter than your average pre-roll ad. Don't say I never did anything for you.
Hey, Queen. I like you more than most people.
Don't tell anyone, but you're my favorite.
It's April Fool's Day. I just want to apologize for whatever I do in the future.
Hey there, gorgeous. You gotta love your selfie. What a performance! You make Mama proud.
This ad by M&M's won this year YouTube Works US Awards in the Media Innovation category. This ad also appeared in the US Super Bowl, so quite the accomplishment. Of course, this ad is completely different from the first ad, as this video focuses on packaging, messages, and design, and not on any complicated science or technology. By using specially designed packaging, M&M's created new ways for their customers to experience their brand as well as the unique personalities of its M&M cast. These creative messages also tapped into the social behaviors of its customers who enjoy having a laugh with their friends, families, and colleagues. And between 2017 and 2020, we did research regarding the creation of iPhone apps for Thai Generation Y individuals, where textual analysis on the branded app, and we also did interview on the developers and user, and also interview with the many scholars and professionals about the concept of media innovation. From the studies, I established the main characteristics of media innovation. These are the integration of interdisciplinary knowledge, interactivity throughout the design, production, and dissemination processes, as well as a new approach to transmit information to the recipients. This can be a new channel, new content, or extension of the current innovations that have an impact on changes in knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors at the individual level or at the social levels. Along this same line, Chitra argued that the key characteristics of innovation should be considered from transformation of innovation in all four areas from the 4 Ps of media innovation. This consists of products, process, positioning of change, and paradigm in the perception of the public. Strossel and Crumbswick go even further by adding an S for social innovation to the 4 Ps of media innovation. So innovation and media innovation are both terms that have a tendency to be misunderstood and overused. Our biggest challenge in teaching media innovation is overcoming
the misunderstanding of the development of concepts and the roles these terms play when moving from innovation to media innovation. This misunderstanding leads to the misuse of the term media innovation and inability to distinguish between novelty, curation, innovation, and invention. The unfortunate consequence is a complete failure to implement this concept in real life. Well, when we look at teaching about media innovation in a class, we find fundamental challenges due to the complicated and abstract meaning of media innovation. Firstly, the content must be communicated to the students in the clearest way possible to help them understand every aspect of media innovation. As a result, this is vital that instructors have a firm grasp on the concept of media innovation, as well as the composition, characteristics, and development of media innovation at a practical level. So basically, instructor must be content specialists. Even when instructors have a clear understanding of media innovation, their specific approach to teach will have a significant impact on the success or failure of the class. So lecturers alone are not enough to effectively communicate content such as idea mentoring or prototyping testing. The use of media materials the use of learning material that are suited for the content must be considered very carefully. One must consider using problem-based case studies and showing students how to apply media innovation as a solution to that problem. This is but one alternative to help visualize abstract concepts and improve their understanding for students. It also demonstrates the process of creating media innovation from beginning to end or from scratch to stars, which is another important lesson to impart to our students. To illustrate this, I have an impressive example of how media innovation can be used to help make situations more relevant to people's lives and stimulate their interest in sport. In this case, the New York Times realized that the public was not as interested in the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. They found that this was because the general public doesn't know what it is feel like to win such a race or break a world record. The public didn't care because they didn't know. So the New York Times make use of the convergence of information technology with an interactive media design for reporting, as well as multidisciplinary data design and processes, interactivity, and geospatial data to bring this feeling alive. The result was an interactive graphic using Google Maps API to give the public an idea of what the Olympic races would look like if they happened in their own neighborhoods. Then the user would be able to relate the magnitude and magnificence of the Olympic distances and times, thereby increasing their overall interest in these events. And what is even more amazing is that this responsive media innovation was compatible with various devices and had the ability to be personalized for each viewer. The technology changed the characteristic of news reporting, of being one-way information transfer from the reporter to the audience to being interactive and engaging for the audience. As a result, this innovation has enhanced the image and reputation of the New York Times, especially when it comes to news reporting. Okay, you can see that when you type in your area, into the fields. Then you enter it. You can see that how the gold medalist will run from your place to another place within a certain time. For example, Wen Chang won gold by running this far in 1 hour, 90 minutes and 14 seconds. You can see that I don't think anyone in this room can do any close to that. So that's why it is more engaging to the results. So the second great challenge for teaching media innovations comes down to the learning habits. According to Devan, Generation Z individuals are much different from previous generations when it comes to their reading and learning behaviors. More specifically, Generation Z students are more interested in gaining in-depth knowledge about their specific areas of interest. So by keeping this in mind, educators should consider new pedagogical techniques to use this interest of their students. In today's world of education, the role of innovation can be applied to integrate technology into the learning, both directly and indirectly. Also, the content should be modified to suit the specific interests and needs of each group of students. Unfortunately, even though the study of media innovation is growing, some aspects such as media innovation management have been left behind and underdeveloped in academic fields. This is, of course, according to a study by Glass in 2020. Also, the learning materials for media innovation are limited and mostly concerned with economics and business administration. This directly leads to difficulties for students who wish to study media innovation in other fields, which by then makes it difficult to create enough personalized contents and resources for teaching and learning purposes based on the concept of the education 4.0 and lifelong learning. Another example here is that online materials in other fields, including medicine, astronomy, sociology, and social change, are also limited. This results in an enormous barrier to learning, teaching, and research to students and educators alike. Furthermore, instructors experience time constraints while preparing for these online endeavors. If there is simply a shortage of resources, additional research should be done to extend the body of knowledge. The outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic has also resulted in the improper implementation of new channels of education. According to Marini and Malavati, schools have been forced to implement and experiment with the use of technologies for hybrid and distance learning. Educators from different backgrounds and experience levels often face challenges in terms of practicality and a lack of technical support when they must orchestrate online learning activities from home. For media innovation to be optimized in this distance learning environment, it is vital to examine technology-mediated learning strategies more closely. This translates to a three-point strategy. First, we must devise ways to effectively communicate knowledge through the use of suitable technology for students from all backgrounds. Second, ways to capture the interest and intent and the attention of students in an independent learning environment should be considered. And third, we must learn how to deal with problems regarding the limitations of technological constraints from both instructor and student. Although the teaching of media innovation sometimes require design thinking, from innovation ideation to prototyping and presenting. Educators must transform their roles from teacher to facilitator and mentor. When it comes to the limitation of class discussions and consultations in distance learning, Marini and Malavati suggested that the internet-based technology such as a web learning media can be adopted to optimize the delivery of various learning activities. These include threaded discussion groups, pool chats, instant messaging, live streaming, application sharing, IP conferencing, and virtual play testing. The final issue that influence the attention of learners include the initiatives and creative of their instructor in designing interactive in-class activity, and finally, their ability to solve problems in their classes to enable effective learning in the post-COVID world. Educators should apply media innovation methods to solve real-world problems, thereby effectively compensating for the lack of face-to-face interactions. A great example here is Tabletop Simulator. This program allows educators to apply media innovation to address the limitations in distance learning. The web-based collaboration program can be applied in the final stages of media prototyping testing for a laptop game, or to replace face-to-face game prototype testing. This would be especially handy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Any innovation that, okay, you can see, okay, this video. Okay, any innovation that will be made
and I'm
available for
making this
public
video
use must be
for game
tested
designers and publishers to help
to
them
ensure optimal, efficient, and safe usage, right? But in the limitation imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic, such as home isolation, make this almost impossible to do, especially when there are limited amount of time in each class session. Okay, let's take a look at the video.
Looking at the home page of Tabletop Simulator, go ahead and select Create, choose Single Player, and go ahead and close the Games menu. Because we're creating a new game, we don't need to select an existing one. Begin by choosing your table, go to Objects, select Tables, and select the shape that's right for you. Now that you have your table selected, we can go ahead and add some components. Select Objects, Components, and then choose the type of component we're going to add. In this case, we're doing custom stuff, so we'll choose the Custom option. But as you can see, we have plenty of options for other already existing pieces. Going in the Custom, let's start with a board. For a custom board, all you're going to need to add is the image. You can either add the image URL in the box, or select the file to browse local files and select one. Go ahead and choose whether you want to store games on the Steam cloud or local to your drive. If you want to play this with somebody at another location, in other words over the internet, you're going to want to choose cloud. Choose the folder and file name and choose upload. Go ahead and click import to complete the process, and you'll see your image appear on the board. This is a board for a game design of mine called Snow Day: The Cold War.
Thank you. Well, let's move on to the next topic. When it comes to further implications in the development of media innovation research, a few studies have noted that even though media innovation research has been increasing for decades, there still are some areas of media innovation that are underdeveloped, as I said. Examples include media innovation for social change, as well as an outside-in approach to media innovation development. In 2020, class noted that limited and unclear theoretical frameworks could be the main cause for the underdevelopment of media innovation in some areas, including media innovation management. When it comes to theories in media innovation research, one of the great contributors are the fields of economics and business. For example, the actor network theory or ANT has been used in innovation studies for newsroom and service development. Theoretical frameworks such as the adoption and distribution theories that focus on analyzing new technology driven devices as new media consumer products result in studies of media technology dominating media innovation research. Also, the norms of the industry may have an effect on the scope of media research development. Several researchers have noted the effect of autonomy in innovation media development. This means that the network structure of initiatives can be used to facilitate both collaborative and autonomous media innovation research. With the exception of these areas, media innovation research lacks critical perspectives and seems to focus on business and economics issues. I would like to quote the following from Stossel and Crumbswick. Critical discussions refer to a bias concerning the dominance of SET or science, engineering, and technology, or TPP, technological product and process innovation based research. Therefore, expanding the creative and cultural research in innovative media from science and technology to sociological perspectives may be a good way to determine the research of media innovation in higher education institutes, thereby turning opportunities into new ideas and applying them practically. Ultimately, in both the professional and academic realms, media innovation still holds a great potential to spread rapidly. In fact, a number of higher education institutes, including some of the Southeast Asia, have already started teaching and learning media innovation in alternative interdisciplinary courses, such as medical media innovation, digital media innovation and technology in education, mixed media innovation for tourism, and news media innovation. Exciting times indeed. Also, the government and several professional bodies have made great efforts to enhance the growth of media innovation. Professional communities and alliances, such as the Global Alliances for Media Innovation or GAMI, as well as the World Association of Newspaper and News Publishers, have been created to promote networking and the sharing of knowledge, as well as promoting collaboration in applied research and innovation. Building on this, it is so important to encourage organizations and individuals to collaborate in media innovation transformation. Fortunately, several awards in media innovation have been expanded to a global scale. Some of these include the MIA Awards, the previous slide please, and the Media Innovation Awards in several countries, including the UK, the USA, India, Canada, and even in Thailand. These awards encourage organizations and individuals to build the future of media strategies and tactics in so many innovative ways. Well, I would like to share the following key takeaways with you. First, innovation is a fact of life with media services and products continuously changing. Second, media innovation is not limited to technology only. Rather, it also refers to innovation process, especially the exploration of new opportunities that come with new or improved elements. Third, media innovation involves production, process, positioning, paradigm change, and social innovation. Fourth, in a post-COVID world, our new normal requires educators to apply media innovation solutions to solve real-world problems and to make up for the lack of face-to-face interaction. Also, media innovation studies are still missing a few methodological and theoretical framework contributions. And lastly, media innovation research should be broadened from being science and technology centered to including a sociological perspective. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you คุณวัศยุทธคงจันทร์ and Miss Chanapa Ithi Amonkun Chai for their assistance in my script and slide. Now, I would like to invite you to share the challenges you have faced with in the media innovation field, or perhaps any updates you may have from your own experience.
Right. Thank you so much, Meet. And please stay put because just like what you said, we are going to have a discussion with our audience today. So is there any question or anything that our audiences would like to hear related to the topic which was discussed by Smith a while ago? Anyone can unmute their microphone. Maybe they can share their question also in the chat if they're a little shy of asking questions. Probably I'll go first, Smith. Maybe I'll be sharing my experiences in the Philippines. I am not sure with other parts of the Philippines, but I live in the Metro Manila. I live in the National Capital Region, which definitely has a better infrastructure in terms of internet connectivity, in terms of new technology, as compared to the provinces. And I think that one of the challenges that the educators faced here in the Philippines is that there are some who live in areas wherein technology is not very used. Like, for example, there are still some parts of the Philippines where, what do you call that? Wow, we have a new view. I can see it, right? Yeah, there are some parts of the Philippines wherein it's still 3G or 2G in terms of mobile network. So it does not give you a fast internet connection. So I think one of the challenges is the internet connectivity of our students as well. No matter how good the teacher is in introducing new technology to the students in terms of teaching, then there will still be some problems when it comes to internet connectivity.
I also agree with you. In many parts of Thailand, also the students has got more difficulties than the educators for the distance learning. And that is what we need to come up with a new way of thinking, how to approach those students. And if we have got a new way of thinking, what I said, like kind of media innovation ideation, we have got new idea and we try to use it and we test it and then we found it actually works, and that is what I call that is innovation, because
Right.
it can make changes in a positive way. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to think about how are we going to overcome the problem we are having right now using new approach.
Right. Hafsa is raising her hand. Hafsa from Pakistan, can you unmute your microphone and switch on your video? Can you join us in our discussion, Hafsa?
Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to speak. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Smith for such an enlightening presentation on media innovation. While listening to all his presentation and his comments on currently media innovation in education system as well, I was just wondering to ask one question from Dr. Smith, and that was that how can we deal with the digital divide in developing countries when it comes to media innovation? Because you see, even in India, in Pakistan, in many other different countries, we have a lot of problem of provision of internet facilities, or even there are a lot of people who are living below the poverty line. So how can we make sure that this media innovation can be helpful for us while there is a huge issue of digital divide is facing in different countries? Thank you once again for your enlightening session.
Thank you very much for your very important questions. Thank you indeed. I think the media innovation, part of it, we have to think about the process innovation. How are we going to access the audience who do not have the internet access? Or how are we going to make the access cost less costly? So we might have to think about the new process. We don't have to always use the digital technology all the time, but the media innovation also include the social innovation as well. Maybe we have to include other what you call opinion leaders in the communities to help us spread the idea that we would like to approach the audience. So there are so many other ways that we have to think about apart from digital.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you, Smith. Actually, digital divide is something that we cannot go away with. It will always be present anywhere you go in the world. There will still be a group which is more privileged than the others. But it's also important that we try to picture the direction where we are going. So even if even those who are in the other side of the spectrum, those who do not have internet connection, if you try to gear them towards the future, then eventually their desire to learn the new technology would be there. Right.
Yes,
Thank you,
correct.
Hafsa.
Yes, thank you, Hafsa.
Yeah. Kyria from New Zealand is raising her hand. Kyria, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Can I just say thank you so much, Smith? That was such an exciting talk. Really enjoying it. Well, enjoyed it. And I have a question for you. I really enjoyed your examples. And the examples that you shared in media innovation are relatively new knowledge and application. And they are, in fact, directly related to science and technology. So, for example, the Samsung Note, advertising on social media platforms, that's directly related to science and technology. So, don't you think that in order to teach this discipline, the tutor needs to have background knowledge, background experience and practical world knowledge?
Yes. The solution to, thank you very much, Karen. I think the educators have to quite well rounded in terms of they can suggest the solutions for the student to explore and experiment more to find the solution to the problems the student trying to solve. Sometimes the solution can be need to use the technology. Sometimes the solution might not related to technology, and if they use the technology, it might create more problems for some some reason as well. Yes.
Right. And if I may also add, I'm sorry, I'm not the speaker, but I'm trying to input also some of my knowledge. But we are not digital natives. I mean, our generation and the students are more digital native than us. They actually know more than we do when it comes to technology. Yeah, so sometimes my experience is that students sometimes are more knowledgeable in the new technology than I am. So I think it's a two-way learning process. You do not just teach the student, but you also learn from them. And I think that's what's important in education.
Yes, I quite agree with you very much, because I think the role of teachers in the 21st century is to be the facilitators and to be the kind of organizer of learning environments rather than being the teacher, because the YouTube can be their teacher, but we provide their links. We provide them with links, the good link for them to learn more. So, and or maybe we can provide them with good speakers or good scientists for them to discuss with. So that is our role in this time of the history. Thank you
Right.
very much, Karian.
Thank you, Kairia from New Zealand. Now we have Nick Hassan. Nick, can you please unmute your microphone and introduce yourself to us?
Hi, thank you, Dino. My name is Nick Norma. I'm from University Science Malaysia. Smith, we met at USM few years ago. Hi, Smith. Thank you for this very interesting talk. I just have one very simple question. If I can practice this is in my class, actually. How do I teach personalization in media to undergraduate students? Thank you, Smith.
Thank you very much for the questions. Your question is how to teach personalization.
Yes, in media.
In media. Okay, so maybe you might need to think about different people have got different needs and demands and different kind of solution for them. So the first thing is to let the student think about how to gather those knowledge, those data from their target audience. And basically the thing, the key important aspect is to build trust among the consumers, and that is very important things. How are you going to build trust for them to reveal their insight, their real wants? And that is the starting point.
Yeah, thank you. Accommodate individuals, yeah? Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Thank
Accommodate
you.
individuals and build trust so that they reveal more about themselves, so that you can interact with their needs more accurately.
Yeah. Yes. Great. Thanks, Smith.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, Nick, from USM in Malaysia. Ricky Abelena has a comment in our chat. Ricky, would you like to unmute your microphone? Would you like to share your thoughts? Or maybe Ricky is not available to talk, but what Ricky Abalena said from the Philippines, we wanted to expose our students to these media innovation, but sometimes the barrier is not only the connectivity, but access to gadgets and to equipment as well. So poverty is still a great divisor for many, and I agree with him, right? Yeah, I mean, you need to prioritize bringing food to your table over buying tablets or gadgets. And that's actually an issue here in the Philippines when we shifted to online classes because of the pandemic. There are a lot of students who cannot join the online classes because basically they do not have gadgets. What's the case in Thailand, Smith?
Yes, the case in Thailand also reported on the national news from time to time, especially in the rural area. Yes, in Thailand we have got um, 70 million people and 55 million already connect to the internet and have got a smartphone. But again, another 20 also do not have got the internet or smartphone. That is the problem that we have to challenge ourselves to meet those people needs. And in my university, we are very lucky that a lot of alumni kind of raise fund or borrow or even give away their computer devices, mobile devices for the student who raised the request to the university office, and then we just shipped those devices to them. But this is the lucky case because they are in the city university. But for the university far away, or even in the high school in far away area, I still heard a lot of kind of news reporting about poverty. And the good thing is that when the report um, says about those people, there are a lot of help reach them very quickly. For example, some houses do not have the electricity for 20 years, and now the 7 kids cannot do their homeworks or talk to their teachers. The electricity company make the install the solar panel for that house, and also give away the smartphone so that they can have some tools to access to knowledge. They are lucky, but not all of these cases will be reported, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, here in the Philippines, there was even a news wherein some young people, students, are trying to sell their nude photos in the internet so that they will be able to save money to buy the gadgets. I think that is another research interest that we communication researchers can actually deal into.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
right. Yeah, Dr. Ayesha, would you like to unmute your microphone? I think you are saying something. Would you like to introduce yourself to us? Or maybe just like Ricky, she's not available to talk. So this is the question. Mr. Smith, your lecture is very impressive. Can we standardize media innovation for students? Like smartphone and technology problems, 3G, 4G, 5G internet access, and devices issues. So what can we say about this? Is there a way that we are going to standardize the media innovation for our students? Is it possible?
I'm not so sure that I understand the questions or comments, but thank you very much for your compliment. I'm very pleased. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I think the global issue is the income distribution, which is unequal, and development is uneven. And that's why we can see a lot of digital divide, not only in terms of the cost of the access, cost of the device, or cost of whatever, but still there are a lot of people who don't understand how to use it, or even don't have language abilities or literacy in typing to express themselves. So there's a lot of problems that we have to help make the gap smaller. And whenever we have got a chance to write any what you call petition to the governments, to the leaders, we as the scholar, we should empower ourselves and empower our students to call out for what we need, what the society that we would like to live in. And I hope that the leaders will be listened and more or less they will change their course and that will change our future as well.
Right, I agree with you. And maybe there is no one standard way that we can implement for this. Like, this is a work in progress. We want to embrace technology into our teaching, into media, and how we can innovate our lives and ourselves. But there are so many issues around us that we need to solve as well. So just like, for example, the digital divide that we were talking about a while ago, the absence of the internet in some of the places, even the sexes, the gender. Sometimes there is also a factor of gender in the access to technology. Like more men can access technology than women in some localities. Yeah. So there are so many issues around the area before we can achieve that particular target that we want, that we are all innovators, that we are all embracing the new technology. But I guess what's more important is our direction, our eyes are focused towards that direction, towards that goal. And we are working little by little to achieve that goal, right?
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Dr. Sai is raising her hand. Dr. Sai, can you please introduce yourself to us?
Okay, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hi, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for a very interesting talk. I'm Saifuddin. I'm from the School of Communication, University Science Malaysia. Actually, I want to share my experience. I taught a course for communication for sustainable development for undergraduate students. And one of the topic is related to the media innovation, specifically how the student can communicate sustainability and sustainable development issue effectively and innovatively. But from my experience, I think undergraduate students, they don't really understand what is the true meanings of innovations. So I think it's really with one of the slide that you share with us just now, where innovation itself is something that is very difficult to be understood, especially for the student. So I just want to get your opinion or tips. How can we actually, if we discuss or teach the student on innovative issues, how can we give a good understanding of them? Because I think majority of my students, for example, they always perceive innovative as something that is new, totally new, that is not, that is very related to something like technology, like you said. So it's very difficult to give them understanding on this innovative things, like you share with us just now. Can you give a tips for me? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Said. Okay, I also find myself in your positions quite a lot of time. So in the recent classes, I asked my students to explore the archive in the Media Innovation Awards. And I think it is kind of the collective consensus about the definitions of media innovations among those judges. So the works that got awards has got some aspects that you can teach the students as the real world cases. And we discuss with my we discuss what we see in those works as innovative communication. Some student might say, okay, it's new idea, it's new way to approach, it's new products, or although it doesn't have got new technologies, but it used the technology that is already existed in a new way and create bigger impact. So this is something that we discuss from the thing that already exists. And then we discuss on what aspects of innovation is that works about. For example, in some works, are the innovation is innovation because of the products is really innovative. Some works is innovations in media because it has got a new way to process or create those informations. So that is the innovation in terms of process. And sometimes it's got new positioning rather than being the sport clothes for the sport peoples, but they say, okay, this work is good because it put the sport clothes in a new position, being the kind of outfits that really understand how to make people staying fit rather than cover their kind of body like other clothes do. But these clothes understand how to put people in a fitness lifestyle, healthier lifestyle. So this is a kind of positioning. And then sometimes it's have got a change in their thinking, how to make a business. That is the paradigm change in their model of business. So based on the awards winners, many years, I think, in many categories, but especially in the media innovations awards, you can have a lot of things to discuss with your students and shape their idea better.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. Right. Do we have other questions or comments coming from the audience? What about the students? I guess there are many students here from my university, Trinity University. Is there anyone from you who would like to share their thought from the point of view of the students? Anyone? Or should I call? I should not be doing that. This is not my class. Right.
Hello, Fan Chang.
Who is that?
I don't know. Her name very familiar to me. I think she's one of my students.
Yeah. Hello, Ajahn Smith.
Hi. Glad to see you
I
here.
just take your lecture last semester.
Wow, good. What did you heard about my lecture? What did you like about my lecture? That I just talked about the media innovation just now. What did you learn?
I just missed the first part of the lecture, and I just joined. I just joined the session of communication, and I think it is a very new topic that you roll out the topic about the media innovation, and it is a very hot topic in the period of the pandemic because especially in Thailand, and many students do not have the digital access to the digital platform to take the classes. As we read the news from the internet, that the government and the schools provide many supports to the students to access the knowledge, but right now we don't know about the results and how the effectiveness of this project. So maybe we need more times to find out the effectiveness of this idea, and we need to do research in the further direction in this field to find out how to find out how to do it in the future, because the pandemic will become a normal situation in the future. So I think it have the practical meanings in the research, I think. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Fan Chang, for your idea. Yes, I really
You are muted, Smith.
okay. Thank you very much, Fan Chang, for your ideas and also your concern about the futures. If the pandemic is still with us, how are we going to overcome it?
Right. Okay. I think there are some participants from the room who raised their hand. I'm still trying to find out who they are. That's here. Here is another one. Chanapa. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your surname. It's very difficult
Yes,
for me.
Shanapa, hi.
Hi, yes, my surname is really long indeed, so you can just call me Chanapa. Yes, I'm interested in the part that you asked the attendees to share their experiences as the students. So currently I'm both a lecturer and a PhD student at the same time, and I'm teaching 100% online and studying 100% online for 2 semesters already. So I will to share that part, maybe from my perspective. So just please let me briefly introduce myself. So I'm Shanapa Ihimakunchai from Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm currently a PhD student and a part-time lecturer at Chulalongkorn University. I'm also working on several research projects at the Communication Innovation for Development of Quality of Life and Sustainability Research Unit at the Faculty of Communication Arts at Chulalongkorn University. And one of my recent experiences is the technical issue that can be quite interesting. Like for example, in my class with undergraduate students, I've seen the situation that I usually ask my students to turn on their camera and microphone, right, to participate in the class discussions. And sometimes there are some issues that the whole class, like more than 30 students, are able to turn on their microphone except for one student. So it was quite challenging. Like I try to recommend to my students, like for example, can they log out and come in again, for example, because I want to encourage them to participate. And at that time, it not work yet. And then 2 days later, one of my PhD classmates also had that similar problem. Like everyone else in the classroom were able to turn on their microphone except for her. When actually both my student and my PhD classmate, they usually turn on their microphone every class. So I feel that those like unexpected situations are some of the things that the lecturer has to be a little bit creative in recommending the solution, like maybe either logging in again or logging with different accounts. Or I just thought of another thing, maybe I could ask them to log in from a different device, such as their smartphone, if it is convenient for them. But for me, I'm lucky that most of my students have quite good internet connection. There were some students who had difficulty with the internet connection on some days, maybe when it's raining or something. So my solution is I always share the video recording of my class sessions after class to all of my students, so that anyone who had the unexpected, like lost internet connection loss for a few minutes or a long time, can rewatch the lectures and the discussions. And also, one of the things that I want to share is about the media innovation of the learning management system, or LMS platform. Like from my classes, I use the learning management system, or LMS platform of Chulalongkorn University, which is called Coursewheel. And I found out that there are many similar features to the learning management system platform that I use at Imperial College during my master's degree as well. It's including the submission that students are allowed to submit like multiple files and resubmit. However, last week, after I assigned my students to submit like 2 files in the same submission, and I also show them like how to, like I share the screen and show them the step by step, but they still had some difficulty in that part. And because my account is the instructor account, right? So the interface of the submission, I cannot like attach the file and show them that way. So I thought that a good solution is maybe next time I should ask one student to like volunteer to share the screen and submit the mock file, like maybe the empty Word file or the empty PDF file, to show every student how the actual submission look like, so that they will not have to struggle with the difficulty of submitting to a platform that they have just used for the first time in their life. So maybe these 2 cases, I think they might be simple, but it kind of happens many times. So I'm just sharing.
Thank you.
Right, yeah.
Yes, very practical. Yes, yes. And I think many of the students and lecturers also find very similar problems like what you share. Yes. And I also would like to add a little, if you if any teachers sharing some videos with their student and not so sure that the student actually watch it or not and understand what it is say in the video or not, you can do it as a quiz. Okay, and you put the quiz question right after the place where the video just said that content, which is the edpuzzle.com. I quite like it. I already typed the name of the website in the room chat. I think it might be useful for many of you.
Right. Thank you,
Thank you,
Chinapa and Smith.
Thank you
Okay,
very
good.
much.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of us are experiencing that also. Right. We have our own stories. We have our own experiences. Dr. Sai is still raising his hand. Are you still going to ask something, Dr. Sai?
No, I didn't raise my hand actually. I'm not sure how it's happened. Sorry.
Okay, it's
I
okay.
actually reply in the comment section, the chat.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Sai. Right. So I guess these are the questions for coming from our audience at Smith. And thank you so much for your wonderful lecture. And at this point, we will be hearing the invitation to the 2021 Asian Congress for Media and Communication International Conference in November, courtesy of the Auckland University of Technology. Let me call the ACMC Secretary for Media Education, Kairia Raman. Kairia?
Hello, everyone. Shall I turn on my camera or there's no need?
It's up to you, actually. So good evening.
I'll turn on the camera. Just give me a sec. Sorry,
Right.
it's really dark here. Got to turn on the lights. Hi, everyone. Don't know if you can see me. Yep. Hello. Yep. So to welcome you, can I just say that the Asian Congress will be hosted by both ACMC and Auckland University of Technology here in Auckland. Due to the lockdown, we really wanted to host you guys. There's Middle Earth, there's so much to see here, you name it, we have it. Really exciting venues. We had actually organized, tours and things like that, but because of the pandemic, that's not going to happen. So very sorry. We're really hoping to have you here, join us. Face to face another time. But for this year, we're going to have it online. So please join us. It's going to be on Thursday right up to Saturday, 25th to 27 November. And the conference rationale is, well, the title is Change, Adaptation, and Culture, Media and Communication in Pandemic Times. We've had the call for papers come out, and there were quite a number of streams, 12 altogether. So we look forward to having you join us. I think most of you who have submitted your abstracts should be getting your acceptance already. If you have any issues with registrations, for example, do let me know. So contact your representative from your university or the representative from your country. So if you're from Malaysia, you need to contact Associate Professor Azwan Asmawati. The Philippines, you know who to contact, your lecturers. And if you're in Thailand, obviously Dr. Smith, Bunchutima. And they will then contact me, or they will give you my contact details so that we can sort it out. We would like to recommend that you first join ACMC because that would slash the fees to be a lot less. So in order to know how much you'll be paying, because it really depends, where you're at in terms of you're an ACMC member or you're not. So please go online and have a look at the registration. I think that's all I have to say on that. Any questions, actually?
Right, Kairia, I think we are extending our submission acceptance of deadline, right? Are
That's
we?
wonderful. Are we?
I think we are actually accepting until September 6th, if I am not mistaken.
Oh,
So,
that's amazing. Can
right.
I just say the early bird has been extended to September 15. So if you haven't submitted already, in that case, please do submit. Clearly, we are welcoming everybody. So please don't be shy. Go for it, I say.
Right. Yeah. Particularly
Thank
the
you very
budding
much.
researchers, right? I mean the budding researchers, the new researchers, those who would like to
Look,
join.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I would suggest, emerging researchers, especially, this is the time for you to, put in your work to get feedback so that you can then develop a paper and eventually get it published.
Right. Thank you so much, Kyria, for that.
Thank you, Dino.
And right. And related to what Kyria said, and what I have actually mentioned as well, we have formulated a group which we call as the research cluster. So it's the research cluster group, which aims to help the young researchers be able to publish and also to present papers. So to invite you to this research cluster group, may I present to you the president of the Asian Congress for Media and Communication, Dr. Azman Azwan Asmawati. Azwan?
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon all. Am I loud and clear, Dino?
Yes, you are.
Okay, hello everybody, friends. Thank you for being here today. We are always grateful for your participation. The good news is we now have an official Facebook page dedicated to our research networking. It's called Acmc, uppercase, period, friends, period, research. Please be a friend of this group. Like we said earlier, this is to motivate and help each other with research. Even if you have nothing to say about research, you only have something to say about cat, you are allowed to say so. Because we are a chill group where we respect differences, embrace differences, and appreciate your thoughts and whatever that you have to say. Be humble, be nice, and we are good to go. Now we have 58 members, Alhamdulillah. We would like to welcome you and your friends. My colleague from School of Communication, USM, Dr. Sai, Dr. Nick, Dr. Rakib, thank you for being here today. This is first time ever that I get many representatives from my school. So please be friends too. Do not be shy. Do not be shy because this is an informal group with all the intention to help each other. We want to help each other. Yes, you can see there my thought-provoking, mind-boggling face. This is a teaser. We will change, but yeah, do join us because it is very important that we support each other. And as ACMC, we are always supportive all of you, regardless age, gender, sexual orientation, and ideology, because we are chill like that. Thank you, Dino.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Azwan, our president. And I hope that everyone will join our Facebook group. Do not be intimidated. The word research is really intimidating, but if you have seasoned researchers like Dr. Azwan and Smith, who'll be able to help us create papers for presentation and publication, then definitely it will be an easier task for all of us. Right? Thank you, Aswan. Now, everyone, there is actually a link for evaluation in the chat box. Do evaluate for you to be able to receive the certificate for attending this conference. So the evaluation is there. And also, I am, wait, okay, let me just share this one again. Okay, let me just invite you to the remaining two pre-conference forums. Yeah, the second or the next one will be on September 25. That's the last Saturday of September. Wait, let me just charge my MacBook. It's getting low bat now. I don't want to lose you in the middle of our forum. All right, my apologies for that. I was just saying that I am inviting you for the next pre-conference forum series 5 of 6, which will happen on September 25. That's next month, last Saturday of September, same time. And our featured speaker will be Dr. Benjamina Paula Flor, and she will be talking about pandemic or without pandemic, the relevance of development communication research. She is from the Philippines. And the last one, who will talk about workplace, workstation, and workspace, finding researches within your comfort zone, is from Italy. Yeah. He is Dr. Davide Dal Agata, and his talk is scheduled on the last Saturday of October. That is October 30, 2021. And then by November, it will be our 2021 International Virtual Conference, courtesy of Auckland University of Technology of New Zealand. Right. So that ends our program for today. Please do not forget. Yes, there is a question coming from Chanepa. The next pre-conference will take place 2 p.m. Hong Kong, Manila, Malaysia time. So that is Philippine Standard Time. Same time as today. Right. Thank you so much. But before we leave, ladies and gentlemen, let us have a photo opportunity. So can we ask you to open your camera if it is okay? Rachel, are you going to say something?
Yeah, no, just to remind you that for photo off.
Right, so that's it. Okay. Wait, let me just put my view into gallery. Right, so there are 2 pages here because we have a lot. We have a lot of participants. So let me just take the first one. Okay, we do not know where you are in the 2 pages, so keep on smiling, right? So ready? 3, 2, 1. One more. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's have the second page. Okay, keep on smiling. We do not know where you are. Ready? 3, 2, 1. One more. Okay. This is the last one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Right. Once again, thank you so much for attending this pre-conference forum series. Thank you so much, Smith, for that very wonderful talk, very wonderful topic. And congratulations, everyone. Congratulations, Smith. Congratulations to the organizers. I'll see you again by next month, September 25, okay, for the other forum series. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, Dino. Thank you for a job well done as usual. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.